Okay. I think. Yeah.
We're recording?
Yeah, recording. Again. Take two.
ATM, take two.
Just really zoomed in.
Hey guys, it's APOC again. I'm here with my fiancee Dana. We shot this once already. She hit the wires again. Oh my god, this cat. I'm not editing. I'm not canceling this.
Yeah.
We just did this entire video once already, and we talked for about 20 minutes about ATM. And when I ran the actual file from the computer, there was a lot of static. It was like there was a lot of wind or something, but no wind in the apartment. I don't know. Anyhow, we watched the film ATM. Came out last year. It was horrible. Unfortunately, we got all frustrations out in the last video. And I'm tired from venting, I'm tired from ranting, I'm tired from yelling. I'm pretty sure you are too. Leave the camera alone. You already broke the shutter.
Well, if you didn't have it so damn far away in the first place, we wouldn't have to do this again.
Oh, we are not going to get into it on camera. You're not. You're not. ATM. Okay.
Guarantee if we argue on camera, we'll get more hits.
Moving on! This film sucked! It featured Josh Peck from The Amanda Show and Drake and Josh. It's sad when your acting is better on a Nickelodeon show than it is in an actual film. He lost a lot of weight, but now he looks like even more of a douchebag.
Yeah, definitely agree there.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? I will tackle the production on this first. The production itself is pretty good. The camera work's alright. Very dark. They shot all at night. They didn't use any day for night shots. It's dark for the longest time, like she pointed out, but obviously over the course of a few hours, which makes sense. Very end, though, it just turns to day pretty much out of nowhere. As you pointed out, nobody has personality in this film.
They have about as much personality as you have right now.
I have more personality than that right now. I'm not talking like this throughout the entire film. I'm not talking like this throughout the entire video. I'm not acting like I don't want to be here. Okay, well, kind of acting like I don't want to be here because I just did the damn video.
Yeah.
You corrected me in the last film that it's not blueberries, but it's tequila. The entire film is it's as thrilling as sitting and catching the very end of Josh's argument about how tequila is a superfruit when they're at the party. Okay, the entire film is basically Josh and David, I think the character's name is. I forget what Josh's name is. I really don't care at this point. I don't give a damn. Josh and David are talking in the office after a 5-minute-long introduction establishing it's Christmas! And they're talking about this girl, Emily, who apparently is leaving. It's the last day, and David has had a thing for her, so they go to the Christmas party. David asks her out eventually after a very awkward scene, but awkward as in, I can't act for crap from Emily. He offers to give her a ride home, and then Josh throws himself into the mix. They have to drive out of the way, so David is taking her home. Josh gets hungry. He decides to be a dick. Pushes for him to stop and get pizza, but he has to stop at the ATM. He stops at the ATM. Apparently, the ATM can't read his card, so he has David go in. David goes in, leaves the blonde girl there. Emily is sitting there, decides, I don't want to be in here anymore, so she leaves her purse under the seat, gets out, can't lock the car door, foreshadowing, goes into the ATM. They turn around. Parka Man is standing there, torments the hell out of them for a good, I'd say, 50 minutes of the film, which is mostly filler. End film. That's it. Josh is a whiny, annoying little brat. David has no common sense. None of them do, but him the worst. And Emily is the most worthless, useless, character that is a female character, I should say, in any film I've ever seen. Probably on par with Bella from Twilight, and I've heard she's pretty bad. If you can't tell, I hate this film. How about you?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. Quit pulling the damn blanket. Cat. Honestly, half the time I was watching this film, it just seemed like they were reading off the script. Like, it wasn't even that they knew the lines. It's just, honestly, if I were to read some of the notes I took, word for word, with no emotion whatsoever, that was the film, basically. It was... I can't even begin to describe why the acting was so bad. It just was. Very monotone, like I said, like we've said, no personality whatsoever. It just seemed like everybody kind of wanted to be there, but they didn't want to put the effort into it. But that's not even the worst part of the film. The entire issue of the film is sitting there screaming, "Why you no run?" Half the time the killer is behind the building because he's trying to break in to run a fire hose through the vent system.
Or the killer has his back turned and they just stand there pounding on the glass instead of running.
Yeah. He actually turns around and goes to kill a guy with a dog, bashes his head on the concrete, and all they do is stand there and pound on the glass screaming like this guy who is about a block away is going to hear them. Why you no run?
And at one point, a security guard pulls up, and the killer again turns his attention to the security guard, and again they stand there and pound on the glass instead of, opening the door and screaming to the security guard.
Security guard, half the block. They open the door for him. They open the door shouting, "He's there, he's here, he's gonna kill you." Killer, about half a block that way. Why they didn't just run up to the security guard and say, "Look, there's a killer. It's a killer." No, they just stand right there while he slow walks. Literally half the distance. It's not even... He's parked at the same spot of the car, and it's about half the parking lot down. I lost count of how many times. I counted up to 7 where they could have run.
Oh, I counted more than 8.
Yeah. Seriously, all they had to do was either... I wanted to say originally just jump the guy, but everybody is basically worthless in this film. Especially the female. Seriously. She was the most ineffective character. All she did was feed the paranoia into them that there might be more danger out there. Granted, Josh had his share too, but she was the worst. And the way... You know what? No spoiler alerts. Don't watch this film. It's a piece of crap. I don't care if I ruin it for you people. She dies in the most asinine way possible. Josh gets stabbed in the stomach when he decides, "I've had enough, I'm gonna run." He slides on ice and just lays there. Oh my god. Oh my, it's the killer. Oh my god. And the killer slow walks. She holds David back from going out there to help him. He pushes her back so she falls in the ATM. And then he decides, "I'm gonna stand in the doorway the whole time," and then go back inside while the killer stabs their friend. No, he's not dead yet. I wish he was at that point, because then he just becomes more of a burden. But eventually the killer does break into the back and runs the fire hose into the heating system, which starts flooding the building, and he pushes the car up to the door and blocks them in so they can't get out. They realize, hey, let's set some papers on fire. She gets on top of his shoulders after a good 5 minutes of him trying to struggle to get the garbage can over to the awkwardly placed sprinkler system. They get it to work, and then he slips, she falls back on the water and dies. And there's like this much water in there. She dies from shoulder height. She can't even pick up Josh from the legs. Here David's picking up the upper torso. She can't even pick up the legs. She keeps dropping them. I actually started to feel bad for Josh in the simple fact that this blonde idiot is so friggin' weak she can't even pick up legs. I'm 242 pounds. She can pick me up. Upper torso and all. She doesn't work out. She does yoga. Probably no stronger than that blonde idiot. The foreshadowing was painful to sit through. Josh threw the dead cell phone. He's just nonchalantly just, oh, your phone's dead, by the way. The girl gets out of the car, click, 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 goes into the building. She's like, oh yeah, your keys aren't working. Oh yeah, the clicker's dead. There's no thought. How surprised were you when they finally realized that Josh had the half a bottle of tequila? When David realized, I should say. It wasn't until the very end of the film, David after, Blondie dies, in the lamest way humanly possible, holy crap, we have tequila that Josh took in the very beginning of the film. Again, foreshadowing. That apparently he even forgot about. And he makes a Molotov cocktail and throws it at the killer after the killer moves the police car in a way that it drives their car that's blocking the door into the building. At one point, this is the best part of the entire film, and I don't even know if that's just me trying to find something to laugh at this point. The killer picks up a foldable chair, which actually looks really comfy. I've had one; they are pretty comfy. Drags it up, puts it down, sits down, and just watches the best part of the film. I held the laughter back inside because I refused to give this film the satisfaction.
Oh, I didn't. I laughed. I couldn't hold it in. I laughed.
Yeah, I can't even tell if that was just because we needed something funny or just something that was actually good with decent acting to laugh at, or so I don't know.
It was just something.
His nonchalant attitude, just sit there and watch them, just made it hysterical. But again, that's the only amount of charisma that you'll see in this film, outside of the security guard, who actually did a good job of screaming. Shouting, what? Can't hear you, what? That was the only amount of enthusiasm. Even the screaming from all three of them just seemed so fake. And the whole film ends where they set off the sprinkler system. It alerts the cops and the fire department. He goes out and he finally chucks that Molotov cocktail, but the killer's not sitting there anymore because he moved the police car. He put the security guard in the chair. So they burn the corpse of the security guard that he killed, and then they show up, they arrest him because all the video footage shows that does not show the killer and makes it look like he killed everybody. End of the film. Outside of, the 7 minutes, I think it was, of showing the killer having all the plans for his next attack to try and get more money from ATMs from other people so he wouldn't get blamed. And then during the credits, they even kept showing it. It's like, we get the point. You're banking on a sequel. I hope it doesn't happen. This was a horrible, horrible film. As I said in the previous video, I gotta give it a 2.5 for the cinematography. I thought it was very well done, despite the amount of filler. You didn't agree.
I give it a 2. Maybe. If that.
Yeah.
Maybe 1.5.
Honestly, if you've ever seen the film Frozen, this is essentially it, but it takes place in an ATM. Even in the film Frozen, the hero of the film, the first hero I should say, decides, I'm gonna make a run for it! Because they're up on a ski lift, because Kane Hodder realizes he's going to lose his vacation time for his sister's wedding and leaves them abandoned up there with incompetent McMoron watching to make sure they got down. Bless you.
Sorry.
But, yeah, they get stuck up there, and the one guy goes, I need to jump. Jumps, breaks his legs, bones come shooting up through his knees and crap like that, gets eaten by wolves. Yeah, that basically sums up Josh's escape attempt too. I'm tired of this, I gotta make a break for it. Runs, slides on ice, gets stabbed, because he's too big a pansy to actually try and get up. This film can't even really be classified as a film. If you write it so that...
It's a disaster.
Yeah. If you write a film where every main character sucks and you want them to die the moment they open their mouth, and you applaud the killer when he kills someone... It's not a good film. That's not good film. That's not good writing. And the sad thing is, the writer of this film had another movie called Buried. It was released in 2010. And this film on IMDb is getting 4.7, which boggles my mind as to why anybody would rate it enough that it would get a 4.7. But Buried has a 7. This is sad because I've seen this movie. I don't even want to see Buried despite the review. The amount of praise it got. So, I mean, I don't know. As I said in the last video, I really don't have anything more to talk about. This is a horrible, horrible film. It's not even worth watching. We watched it on Comcast On Demand for free. I want my time back. It's 90 minutes, and I feel like I wasted it. Most of it, I should say. A good amount of it I was screwing around on Facebook. And the sad thing is, I would look up, I missed nothing. Nothing. So, I'm done. You got anything else to say?
I'm done.
Okay. I'm done talking about it. Screw this movie.
Yep.